thank you so much for the invitation. Actually, we are leading the EU after 3 months, so we still have 3 months to go. Let me tell you that I'm delighted and honored to participate in this discussion. This traffic jam at the Suez Canal requires indeed reflection and discussion. And I would like to congratulate you for this initiative. Actually, it deserves indeed to be debated and to be discussed, this topic. Well, so I would like in the 5 minutes given, then I knew after starting this session that I have 2 more minutes. So I will try to convey the major idea of this intervention, that I will approach the issue from a geostrategic perspective. Actually, this event raised more questions than answers. And as we all know, choke points are crucial to geopolitical thinking. And for military planners and the high-level strategists, choke points are always close to their mind. So the blockage of passage through this critical waterway for a couple of days created all the problems that we are all aware. So it's a gateway crossed by 12% of global trade. It is estimated that it is crossed by, let's put in these terms, 400 million trade per hour. Ships lining, queuing in a line are targets for a potential spike in piracy. Shipping rates for all tankers have nearly doubled. The rise of oil, the shipping lines face disruption and delays in supplying retail goods to consumers. We all know this. And many other economic and financial issues that we already mention in these debates. So we are aware of these drawbacks, but the Suez is open again for business. And in some ways, the damage is already done. But this was a short closure. And with this short closure, we saw the consequences, which are minimal comparing with the permanent closure. So this closure happened in a context of peace as a human error. But we have to make an exercise, at least a mental exercise, in case of crisis and war, if we have to face such a situation in a more damaging case, and if it was a terrorist attack. So after this, after the vulnerability shown, maybe this stimulates the terrorists to do something in Suez Canal. Well, in certain choke points. Well, these issues can occur again with different players. And from my perspective, I think now we should think beyond to forecast future situations and to be ready to provide fast responses. Well, I know it is difficult to forecast wildcards, but I believe this is an exercise that must be done. There are lessons to be learned, and one of the merits of these exercises is to try to extract lessons that we can use in the future. And this, for me, should be the focus of the debates. So after this, are we empowered with tools to react in a different way in the future? What to do in the next cases? And let me tell you, and I know this is a triviality because you will know the likelihood of being repeated cases like this is real. So we must consider that human constructed choke points are normally narrower and easier to block than natural ones because engineering is forced and normally it's created a passage of minimal width due to the tremendous amount of labor and cost that is necessary to build them. So it's a conjunction of engineering and money. And we also know that blocking maritime choke points is not difficult, even for insurgent groups. And I believe that one of the aspects where we should concentrate our attention and our responses is exactly to face this threat. And the Middle East, as you know, is a ground for these kind of activities. So, Suez Canal has demonstrated the fragility of man-made choke points. You know, mines, submarines, cruise missiles, and the like can effectively close off any choke point at any time. But in this case, I'm speaking mainly to more, more empowered enemies, adversaries, because I'm talking about mines, I'm talking about missiles, but there are other tools that can be used to block such an infrastructure with less resources. And it's not difficult. It's not technically difficult. Well, so, do you want to say something, Liviu?
No, I invite you, if it's possible, to have the concluding remarks.
Okay. Sorry.
This changes the program, please.
Okay. So I would like just to add two more things. Well, this way should remind us of our vulnerability, not to an accident, but also to the nature of war that humans have always in the horizon. In case of a terrorist attack, for instance, the Suez Canal is quite vulnerable, as are man-made choke points. So I believe that in mind you have others already. And in the debate, we could introduce what could be done by the EU in order to help Egypt, a sovereign nation, to avoid things of these sorts and neither to repeat nor to happen. I'm not patronizing, but for instance, of course, the EU could try to assist Egypt. I know this is an insufficient response, and we do not have response, but we have to think of this issue, especially to understand at what level these issues could be fast responded. This issue was already mentioned, addressed in a previous intervention, and what is supposed to deal with complexity. But there are similar problems to consider. We could also add in this debate the more complex Panama Canal. It's a subject of a similar problem and other important choke points. Sorry for this.
Thank you.